Welcome, friends and fellow paddlers, to another edition of Rugged Outdoors Guide, whatever it is I do here on the YouTube channel. Hopefully you find it useful and helpful. All right, today we're going to show you how to strap down 2 canoes. You can do it with 1, it doesn't really matter, but I'll just show you with 2 and then you can adjust accordingly. 2 canoes to a pickup truck that does not have a cap on it. All right, so here's the thing. If you look at this, the back of my truck here, I've got, here's the walls, the sides to my bed, and on the top you can see I've got a lot of like this is actually a storage box right along the railing here, and then I've got a tonneau cover. I don't have the metal top part of the wall on each side of the bed available to me. If I did, then you can get any one of a number of rail systems from Yakima, and there's other ones that you can use, and they attach right onto here, and they give you sort of like the rear end of the rack system for you to put your canoes on, right? It's a wonderful system, and it's very sturdy. The problem is I can't do that here. I have to have another system. And so I have a solution. The solution is a Yakima long arm, it's called, all right? That's what this thing is. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details of what this is all about and how you can, like a review, all right? I've done a review. You can check out another video on our YouTube channel where I've done an extensive review on the Yakima long arm, and it's just a truck bed extender, but it can also be used, as you can see, as a roof rack, all right? So without any further ado, I'm going to start talking about how we can get these canoes you know, set up. Now here's the thing. Here was the catch. If you've watched the review of the long arm, what we found was that there was this, right? There's a little bit of a shakiness, and that didn't really make me very confident when I bought this, all right? And it's not inexpensive, all right? So what do? I don't have any other options than something like this if I want to carry a canoe with my Chevy Avalanche. It's actually any pickup truck that has like a cab or extended cab, but no cap, right? So we're going to get into that in a second, but I just want to explain something. There's a bunch of things that you're going to need, all right? So here's a list of things that you'll need, all right? And there's more details in the details sort of section below, and I'll give you some ideas of where you can get them. But here's the thing. There's something that is super, super important, all right? And that is these things right on top of this bar back here, right? They're called keel overs, all right? They're called keel overs. They are from Yakima, and they are super, super crucial for our little you know, experiment here today. The reason is that these are actually meant to hold the gunnels of your canoe, and they're adjustable. You push them against your gunnels, and the gunnels sit on them, so it's nice and soft, and then they also go up the sides of them, all right? And when you push them close together, your canoe's not going to move anywhere. The problem is if you don't have these, both the front and the back have these shiny black bars of steel. And your canoe, I don't care what kind of gunnels you have, it's going to slide. It just is. Trust me, I've tried this. I've tried cranking it down, tying it down so tight that my hull is starting to make cracking noises, and it still shimmies back and forth in the wind. When you're on the highway, it's going to happen. So you need something, all right? And these keel overs, honestly, they're worth every penny. I don't even know what they cost, but I know that they're worth it. They're going to last you a lifetime, and your canoe will feel incredibly secure. All right. So the other thing I'll just tell you before we get started is on the front of my truck, I also have a single bar and mounting system. I want to call it a set of roof racks, but it's not a set. It's only one bar. Okay, this is the other part of the set. All right, so mine is a Yakima system. You can get whatever on the front. It doesn't really matter. And again, it has keel overs. It has to, otherwise you're messed up. Now, you can do it without the crossbar. On the front, you can just use foam blocks. It's okay, it's just not going to be quite as sturdy as a bar system with the keel overs. All right, so without any more, oh, sorry, one last thing. Got to show you this. This long arm came with this system here. I'm not gonna, again, I went into details of how it works in the last video, so I'm just gonna show you. I'm tightening this. It's supposed to be a system that makes this more sturdy. It's straps that go down, go from the end of these bars to your hitch. So you gotta kind of pull these pretty tight. All right, so I don't really know how much it does. I mean, these are pretty tight, but still, there's some movement, but I have ways to make sure there's no movement, and that's the point of today. All right, let's get at it. All right, guys, so now I've got one canoe on the top here. Now, here's the good news. With a 16-foot canoe like this, but on a truck with that long arm, the bow isn't going to stick out very long. Look at this, it's barely halfway over my windshield, right? The good news about that is that you don't have to tie anything like a string or any sort of tie down from the bow to anywhere, all right? This is, the straps that go over around the hull are going to be good enough. So here's the tricky part, though. You got to get under here somehow to get the strap around this strap. Now I've managed to throw this strap over and I've gone under this bar, and now if this stuck way out, I couldn't get it over very easily. I don't even know how I would do it. You might have to have some kids crawling around up there to help, but it's easy now because look at the bow only sticks out to here, so you just pull this over and you've got it. Okay, now you guys, I'm sure most of you know what these straps are and how this system works, but I'll just in case you're not sure, I'll let you know, or I'll show you. So you would wrap it around the bar like this, bring this strap over, and this is a sort of a one-way buckle. So you would put the strap kind of through this thing. Sometimes it's hard. It has a padding on it here, a rubber pad, so it goes against, it's meant to go against the side of your canoe. So that's where you want it. So that's why I've got it up here like this, and you would just pull down. That is not going anywhere. That is super, and that's better than any knots that you can make with a piece of rope, a tubular round piece of rope. This is meant for canoes and it holds really tight, all right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this to four sections of canoe. Two canoes, right? Front and back on both canoes. And you don't really need to see that because I'm doing this over 4 times, all right? And then I'll show you what's next. Okay, so I've got both canoes tied down now, just using the straps that I showed you earlier. Here's where it gets interesting. Now, the 2 straps that I have, these ones here on the back and for both canoes, here's the thing. They are 16 feet long. Now, I'm not sure what all the different sizes you can get online. I think most of them are pretty long like that. So just make sure they're at least 16 feet long, because you're going to need the length. So this is the end of one of them. I've tied this end down, pulled it really tight, and here it is. Now, actually, you know what? I'll do it the other way around. Here's the end for the other canoe, all right? So here it is way over here. Now, here is the key. I have a Chevy Avalanche. If you have one, you'll know what I'm talking about. On each corner up here are what are called hand grips. There's one on each corner. And if you don't have an Avalanche, I'm guessing there is something that you have on your truck, but on the Avalanche, it's this. And what I can do, see, I've got you can either use, you have to have one of these. So this is a ratcheting buckle, ratcheting sort of strap. It's got a hook on it. This one is the same way. Let's try to show you. Here we go. See that hook? This is not ratcheting. This is just one of those, like the buckles I showed you for the straps for your canoe. It goes one way and you just pull it. So that's what I'm going to use. The ratcheting is even tighter. So you can use either one. If you have one, just use that, or just buy one of those systems. You need 2 of them. So mine fits in nicely behind the hand grip, and you're going to need that. Now, I'm going to show you what to do with that, and then what to do if you don't have a Chevy Avalanche. So here is the strap. All you're going to do, all right, so you want to take either the ratcheting buckle or this one that I'm going to use, and you just put the strap through it, and of course it only allows you to go one way, and you want to snug that up. Now I'm going to pull that up a bit tighter in a second. Now I'm going to go and do the other side. So this is the strap from the other canoe, and there's my buckle. I'm going to throw that in. All right, so now I'm going to pull this. And this one. Now, here's the thing. Before I show you the magic, there's a chance, of course, that you do not have a Chevy Avalanche. So here's the thing. Well, over here, I've taken the liberty to show you how you can attach one of these things. All right, I have another video that talks a little bit about these when we attach a canoe onto your roof with foam blocks. But what I had, these are called hood anchors, and it's just a tube. It looks like a rubber hose, but it's made specifically for this purpose. And then a strap, which is a loop. All right, and the idea is that you put it in the edge right here, and it won't come out. Obviously, this tube is not big enough to come out of the edge here. So now you do have an anchor point, all right, which is very close to my anchor point. I'm just using mine because I know it works, all right? So here we go. I have my canoe gunnels inside the keelovers, all right? That is super important. You cannot forget to do that. Otherwise, you will be disappointed. I guarantee it. And I've also strapped the canoe down, both canoes. So there's four strap down, tie down points. That's it. So guys, as you can see, these canoes don't stick out very far past the bar on the long arm. And on the front, you saw they don't stick out very far past the front bar. So if that's the case, there's no need to tie down anything else on these. They are good enough to go with just two straps on different parts of the hull. That's all you need, and they'll never go side to side because you've got the keelovers. So now we've pulled this tight, and of course we can tie these things down with some rubber bands or some tape. I'm not doing that right at this moment, just want to show you how this works. So now guys, look, that's as far as I can, as hard as I can shake it. That's not very much. That is now pretty sturdy. So on its own, this bar is pretty floppy, but when you tie down the canoes and then do cross bracing like this, as well as these pieces that come with the long arm extender, you now have a pretty sturdy system that I would be happy to go on a long trip, like 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 or 6 hours, and I would be happy that my canoes are safe, all right? So guys, thank you for joining me for another edition of our Rugged Outdoors Guide, TV, whatever it is. Do join us next time. Check out our YouTube channel. Guys, I really hope that this can be of some use for you. I did 2 canoes. You can always do 1 and just have these keelovers that I've talked about. Just put them right here in the middle, and it's even easier. It's even sturdier if you do that. All right, guys, now until next time, remember, get out there, enjoy God's creation. It's all around us, and keep looking up.